on a beautiful afternoon for football. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. Here's Stephen Gostkowski now to kick this one off. And we are underway in Foxborough. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Cleveland comes out on offense, and we focus in on RG3, Robert Griffin III, who last year got injured in Week 1, wound up only making 5 starts. Obviously, the Browns struggled, Charles. What is his future? What is Robert Griffin III's future now?
To be determined in 2017 and really in the off-season of 2017. Totally healing up from the injuries he had in 2016 season. Adapting again to another offensive coordinator, another quarterback coach. But his head coach, Hugh Jackson, who does call the plays, he's still there in Cleveland. Second year there. This is Robert Griffin III's best opportunity to be a starting quarterback for a full season in the NFL.
The starters for the Cleveland Browns. And let's discuss the tight end, Gary Barnidge. Sometimes he can get overlooked.
I love how he emerged in 2015. We had a scouting report on him that said he was a good blocker, dependable receiver, but no stardom at all. Had a 1,000-yard season in 2015. No longer do we have those shackles on him at all. Gary Barnidge can play.
Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. Here's New England defensively. Last year, the #1 overall defense as far as points given up goes. And they've got a lot coming back in 2017.
Now, they certainly do. And let's go back to the Super Bowl. Trey Flowers, who was their leading sack guy in 2006, he had 7 in the regular season. He was a monster in the Super Bowl against Atlanta. He's back there for them. How about Dante Hightower at linebacker? His first Pro Bowl in 2016. And then just moving on back to the secondary. Devin McCourty, the guy who quarterbacks him back as safety, he's been to the Pro Bowl as a corner and as a free safety.
Taking it about the 16. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially give him 15. And the Patriots take over. Brady now on first down. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Julian Edelman, 45 yards. And the Pats have taken the early lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long, man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as the Cleveland Browns come back out onto the field, they'll get going again on offense here in a second. But 1-15 this last year. And it's a franchise that since moving back to Cleveland in '99 has only been to the playoffs one time.
Hard to believe, right? Just 2 winning seasons in that time frame as well. But I think there's optimism to be had here in Cleveland. I think that the fans, it's tough for them to see it after another 1-15 season. But I think that they have a plan in place to move this franchise forward. Ownership, front office, head coach, all in lockstep together with a vision and a plan that they intend to execute. There's no sense in dancing around it. Not a lot of bright spots to talk about in Cleveland this year, I think Isaiah Crowell, the running back, he's a guy we got to keep an eye on in the future. Short of 1,000 yards, it was hard for him to get enough carries to get there.
Yeah, but he was healthy, started all 16 games. Coach Hugh Jackson, though, said it was his goal to get him to 1,000. You're right, though, just shy of that at 952.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is brought in at the 21. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Okay, partners, New England comes out here to take the field on offense. This is such an interesting story, how they've been able to do it year after year after year. Guys talk about parity in the NFL. Well, New England has kind of transcended that parity, and they've done it with guys that you don't normally think of as household names.
The parts keep changing for New England. That's the amazing part on offense, all right? Offensive linemen change, receivers change, running backs change. We know the one constant is Tom Brady, and that's a huge deal for them. But to be able to do it in what you call the parity times, and you're exactly right, everyone's supposed to be pretty equal. New England still a top 10 offense year in and year out. In 2016, they were number 4, and that helped them with a number 1 ranked defense as well.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starting in the NBA at power.
There he goes, Julian Edelman. And all the way in, touchdown, New England. Julian Edelman with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Patriots add on to their lead. That's a heck of a start to this one for him here in the first quarter.
2 receiving touchdowns, just getting the game underway essentially. I mean, there's a long way to go. If I'm on defense, I've got to figure out how to slow this guy down. Because when one guy shreds your team, that's demoralizing. Make him spread it around at least. But right now, he's showing no signs of slowing down.
Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so. They need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than...
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Rob Ninkovich coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
On second down, here's Crowell. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
To throw is RG3. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero.
Let's face it, we're all going to remember Malcolm Butler from the Super Bowl, the interception that reverberates, the one that denied Seattle back-to-back Super Bowl titles. But he's become a very talented, good player in the league. He's not going to just be remembered for one play.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And LeGarrette Blount just does not go down easy. You know, from my experience as a defensive back, this was a difficult guy to try and tackle because of the force that he runs with, and he's not going to be daunted no matter it's the first quarter or the fourth quarter, Brandon.
Well, what shocks me about last year, 18 touchdowns. I mean, the yards were pretty good, 1161. But when I think of New England, I don't think of a running back getting 18 touchdowns.
You know, that to me, it was the combo that made the 2016 season for him. Most yards in his career, most touchdowns in his career by far. And he's the type of guy that, hey, you want to give it to me inside the 5? He doesn't believe anyone's going to stop him.
Looking back to the air on second down. It's Brady. Screen pass to Blunt. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more.
But when it comes to the running game, the New England Patriots,
last year, to your point, 5th in passing yardage, number 30 in the run game.
What they want to do each and every week is make a game plan based on their opponent, not so much their own personnel, and they try to attack that way. And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends.
And he's going to get into the end zone. So cue up the Gronk spike. Gets a Patriot touchdown. Rob Gronkowski, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots add 6 to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as, that is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to following the interception. Just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup. And how about what Pryor did this year on a 1-15 team? 77 catches, over 1,000 yards, and we saw what an athlete he can be. We saw that in college, but, man, he can do a lot.
And now he wants to be a wide receiver, and I think that's where the difference was because you mentioned him being an athlete. He still wanted to be a quarterback, so he was resistant to making the move out wide. And now that he's doing it and doing it on a regular basis, I think this is the baseline of numbers we can come to expect from Terrell Pryor. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
3rd and 2, now Griffin. This is complete to Hawkins. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he fields it cleanly. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions. And, boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a 5th-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted. He ends up having 180 yards in receptions, including 5 plays of 20 yards or more against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about James White, a 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin? Think about who he played behind while he was at Wisconsin, and he turns out to be the unsung hero of the Super Bowl. Would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
And you mentioned James White at Wisconsin. He was behind who? Melvin Gordon and Monte Ball, right?
That's correct.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And right side caught. Hogan. Chris Hogan, the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Chris Hogan, 72 yards. And the Patriots add on to their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. Took him less time than that to get to top speed and complete that play.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
A fake to Crowell. Now it's Griffin. He's got time in the pocket and unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now it's Griffin. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Devin McCourty picks it off. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So the Patriots coming out now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Brady to throw on 2nd down. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. Pushing him away.
Popped it right out there.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Gronkowski may have had to miss the Super Bowl with the injury, but he was active in that parade, and now he's back on the field. And I'll tell you what, something you mentioned to me is that he was a big cheerleader for his teammates. Never hung his head through the injury, celebrated with him all the way through the title.
We've seen superstars in the past, when their team does well without them, they're happy, but they recede into the background, right? They get out of the way because it does hurt them a little bit. They do have pride. They want to feel like, hey, without me, they may take a little bit of a step back. But with Gronk, you never saw that. You saw him with him every step of the way, cheering his team on, happy for their success. They went 11-0 without him in 2016, but I know this. They don't want to try it again.
No,
they want the big fella back. I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So bad mistake there by the kickers. The ball goes out of bounds. And Griffin gives to Crowell. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll try to run for it with Crowell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
That play never got off the ground because of the defensive front. They owned the offensive line, which allowed the linebackers to see their openings and run straight to the ball. That's why that play just never had a chance.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. They'll begin here with Blunt. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Shotgun now for Brady. He's going to look deep for Edelman. Now a clash of bodies.
Three chains. Ow. Caught up in my, put your head on backwards, then skate off after engaging.